Oh, right. That's right. I'm supposed to hit button. Hello there and welcome to the Gundam Roundtable, where we're running a little late, but we're going to make it work. I, of course, am Ironcaster, and I'm here to talk about some big robots. And tonight, we are getting into episode 36, Big Sam's Last Stand, which sounds like it should be a rhyme, but that's enough on that for now. Happy Tuesday, everyone. It has been a long day, and I'm glad to be in to talk about some big robots. I know I was having a little fun playing some big robot games yesterday, and, well, I figured, I'm going to try to do a bit more, but that's neither here nor there. I guess I should probably jump to things a little bit. Oh, right. Hey, Fenrir.
He's dead. They killed him. The bastards killed him. God damn him. What the hell? He's dead.
You maniacs! You blew him up! Damn you to hell!
They literally blew him up. That's the worst part. Death in freaking space. Are you kidding me? Damn it. They didn't even show the body.
Oh no! It's fine.
I mean, what's the
He's
point
just
of those?
sleeping.
What's the point of those helmets if they don't give you the ability to breathe in space?
I think you're jumping a little ahead there, guys. Don't worry. We'll explain it. We'll get there. I mean,
Look, I haven't identified who died yet. I simply said they killed him.
Real quick, just saying hello to King Dolphin or Mr. Feliciano. To try my luck on that again. Oh, how's it going, Fenrir?
Well, I'm doing good. Well, I was doing good until I figured out they killed him. Because, again, why? Seriously, look, it's good that they show that their characters can die, but come on, at some point they gotta have to go easy on this.
Oh. Yep. Welcome to Gundam, where nobody has a happy ending.
Come on.
Oh, thank you. So, I was before we had started, I was talking with Fenrir a little bit about regional dialogues and the Midwestern accent. You know that little ridiculous bit of that kind of youper sound, and it's like, oh, right, duh. I was looking at some of the bizarre language and words we have out here in Michigan. And it's like, your name's actually really not that hard to pronounce now that I think about it. I don't know why it was so hard for me before. It's like, oh yeah, I mean, we could also point to, like, the city of Ypsilanti. Like, I don't get it sometimes, but I wouldn't trade this place for anything.
Yeah, but no one likes to take away their home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like all those little quirks you kind of get used to around in your neck of the woods, that you start to talk with people and you realize that, like, oh, they don't use words like pop or party stores. Fenrir, do you know what a party store is?
No idea.
Okay. This is quite simply put, it's a place you can go buy beer.
Oh.
Oh yeah, we're gonna
Okay.
go up to the party store just to get a 12-pack.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
a
it's like a
reminder.
lot.
The more I hear that accent, the more I start thinking about New Jersey. For some reason.
Oh, see, no, I don't. That wouldn't be quite right either, because, like, I don't know. I'm probably talking out of out my butt here, but uh, it's a bit more gruff, a bit more confrontational. Whereas in the Midwest is very much of a, oh no, I don't wanna impose on you. Oh, sorry, there, I'm just gonna sneak past you.
That
I was like,
is just a weird accent.
I mean, look, like it gets to the point where sometimes you'll walk along and you just kind of like you'll get to the point where you'll bump into a door, and you apologize to the door. Oh, sorry.
Wow.
Absolutely, it happens. And then of course you get with that the word "ope," almost like an "oops." It just becomes like a. You just say it
started
without even
making
thinking
me
about it.
like, why don't you much that?
What was that?
Tells me why I don't do accents that way.
Yeah, it's like, well, everyone thinks like, oh, I don't have an accent. Everyone else has the accent. And then you meet other people, and you're like, oh, yeah, they sound really weird. Or they point out to you like, you know, you're laying it on quite kind of thick with yours. I grew up in Cleveland and in Puerto Rico, but have been accused of having a Boston accent. Say, yeah
How
to
can
the
you have
up,
a
eh?
accent?
The UP. Oh, yeah, we're going to head up to the UP for the weekend. Going up north.
Okay, we are losing our pace here. Let's stop talking about accents for a second and go straight to the point. I feel like we're losing pace. Because if this keeps on, we're going to be talking about Cleveland's accent, then one from Chicago, and so on. And then we're going to end with Canada and somehow end up in Mexico.
We're going to go worldwide with this. And I think that would actually be a fun idea for a stream. But that's something I'll throw in the back pocket for now.
Yeah.
So then, are you ready to get to it, Fenrir?
Yeah.
I know, I sure am.
Let's get things started. Gundam fight, all set. Ready, go!
Oh, why did this pop up? Okay, so to get into things a little bit, we are, of course, to finally get into the coverage on episode 36 of MobilesuitGundam entitled Big Zam Last Stand. So, Fenrir, you weren't here for last week's, but we were in the middle of the Battle of Solomon.
Yes, I saw.
And we got to see finally the big Fortress of Solomon, which is the big giant asteroid that was pulled into the Earth's atmosphere for minerals, for mining and creating of the colonies. And we finally gotten to see that the Federation forces have gone ahead and are going into battle with it.
With Xeon. Yeah. Using the solar flare. I saw.
Yep, they pointed a bunch of mirrors at the big old asteroid, and they made a big giant laser pointer in space, which turned out to be a lot more effective than the. But we also saw in it the two new mobile suits of the Federation finally getting to go to work. We got to see the GM and everyone's favorite, the Ball. Fenrir, what did you think about the Ball?
Those were fun. I mean, they look like little fighter jets, but they're not.
Apparently, you have an echo, Fenrir.
Yeah, I'm starting to hear that. I don't know why. Give me a second. I'm gonna.
Well, what's weird is I'm not hearing it, so I'm not sure what's going on with this. I can try turning my mic up a little bit and see if I can pick it up. We also got to see that there was new ships even for the Xeon forces, which is their own little transportation ships. which, to my knowledge, we haven't seen before. Because I think I will remember these like what I would probably call the Shar forces, because they're all painted red. And you get to see here right at the start of the episode, there is a lot of war going on. Ships flying left and right, and the Federation forces, the Xeon forces, everything's going to hell. Which really is surprising to me, where that you got that much action right off the bat. And yeah, I think this feels like one of those episodes where they really put their money into it. But kind of see where Fenrir's going at with this, and not here. So yeah, kind of fill a little time. The idea I was kind of having was to, because I'm thinking about the accents again, to reach out to people from all over and bring people together, show off and kind of point to like, hey, here's words or concepts that, people have in this area, and, show people like, hey, here's a bunch of weird words we have. How do you think this is spelled? This spelling. Here's this word. How do you think this is pronounced? And what do you think this concept is? It's a bunch of. Try saying something.
Hello.
I don't hear any echo.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah. So I was kind of pointing out that right off the start of this episode is kind of surprising. You see just how much battle's going on, where there's like so much there's so much going on in the heat of the battle. Like right out the bat, the Federation forces, the Xeon forces, all pounding together.
Just duking it out.
Hey, I recognize that picture.
Yeah.
I like it.
Uniform for the situation.
Gotta
Honor the fallen.
Yeah, so I'm surprised to see just like it seems like for the last few episodes were kind of were a little sparse at times, and it seems like this is an episode where they were really putting a lot of the budget into, because this was a 2-episode battle.
Yeah, the animation was great. Movements using Gundams actually felt like they had weight.
Yeah, especially funny considering that they're in space. There ain't no gravity.
Yeah. They didn't do it.
Yep, and so out in space, Slager winds up getting hit and hurt, having to draw back and get this ship fixed up so he can go right back out. He's not gonna be able to cut and run. He's gotta get back to the ship, get a band-aid thrown on it, and just jump back out. But the scene kind of largely changes here to a little bit about Mirai, who seems pretty distracted in the heat of the battle. And Bright, being the commander who's got to look out for everything, is taking a moment to look to her and tell her we're not supposed to talk in private in the middle of a battle, but if there's something wrong, let me know.
Yeah, she's calling for Slayer. The guy who slapped her. Yeah, she really gives me some weird idea vibes.
Well, look, sometimes you gotta kind of have a bit of pushback and have someone who challenges you at times. I mean,
Yeah, I know. Or life becomes dull.
mm-hmm. I mean, Mirai certainly didn't want a guy who was just gonna like roll over and do nothing. Like, oh, well, I didn't want to go out and look for you. That sounds hard. Can I just pay someone else instead? It's like, what kind of man are you? You won't even do it. You won't even like step up and try to take the action yourself.
Yeah, he was a pussy. Yeah, he was a pussy.
Mm-hmm.
Just say it. Just say it.
So with her being distracted, Bright has someone relieve her so she can step away to get to freshen her head. And of course, we get a cool little shot. We get a fun little shot of like her riding one of the little handrails to go and kind of travel through the ship, and you get to see people in the heat of the battle where you realize there's actually more than like 5 people on the white base.
Yeah, it's not just 7 to 8 characters.
No, there's a bunch of like background characters you didn't even know that were there. And Slager, being Slager, shows up, and he lands and tells the people in the hangar to, you have 10 minutes to get me patched up so I can get back out there. Meanwhile, you fuel this up, I'm going to go fuel me up. Which, and, who happens to be walking in? Where does she go? Right, to go try and find Slager.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, outside, the battle rages on. But our boy Slager wants a burger. Because it's always time for a burger.
Yeah, burger. Wait. When there's no time where a burger's not good.
Right?
Even in the middle of war.
I have to wonder, like, how good of a burger that must be at that moment. It's like, with everything going on, you stop and you're having a burger. Like, how good is this thing? Does the food taste better, like, after you've like freshly killed someone in battle?
Oh, you ever seen that American episode where Stan was a murdering virgin? They just say, you never forget the taste after you do a kill. So,
but unfortunately, he doesn't get too much of a chance to go and savor his post-kill meal, because who should happen to show up but Mirai? She's been distracted thinking about him, probably thinking about his slap. He doesn't. Bright doesn't slap her like he does. Apparently, I don't know. You know what? I need one of these right now. It felt odd to not have that up to this point. So Mirai shows up, and the two of them get to talking for a minute. She lets it all loose about her relief over his not being injured, and he's too busy having his fueling up himself. And she starts to get teared up and showing that she worries about him, but he wants to push things off. Like, well, now isn't the time for this. Can we not have this? Let's not have this talk now.
Yeah, there's a little war, lady.
but in a way, it is, I think, one of my favorite moments in in the later half of the series is just this one scene. I think this is one of the more uh, true and really what I feel is properly human moments where there's all this battle going on around them, and for just this moment, nothing else matters. It's the two of them, and where in a way they almost don't have to they don't have to they don't have to share too many words because they both know with a couple of little sentimental moments he's caught up in a moment here, and well, he's being the cocky guy he is.
He's the
He pulls out a ring. And not that there's any big red sirens that should be going off right now or anything. He pulls a ring out, he pulls a ring from nowhere and asks her to hold on to it for him. At least until after this battle. Like, I'd hate to lose it in the heat of battle, so hold on to this for me.
It's gonna end up well.
She's too good of a woman for him, and he's just some nothing cocky pilot.
Asshole.
That too. And due to some space turbulence, as they go to part, she's knocked into him, and they share a kiss.
Yeah. Guy's lucky.
Plans to conclude this discussion after the battle.
Smart word.
And for all the scenes we've gotten in Gundam, I feel like this is one of the most real ones. This is one of the most true to. I think this is probably one of the scenes in the show that best conveys the emotion to it. That it isn't all just it doesn't all just come across as like kind of the screaming and all the war and all of that, and that for everything we've seen these characters be confronted with, that they can still find some happiness even in a place like this, where yes, love can in fact bloom on a battlefield.
Isn't that thing?
Yeah, I think that came from like Metal Gear Solid.
No.
And with that, he quickly hops into his ship with now a newfound reason to fight.
Yeah, I hope that go.
And I think this really makes Slayer one of my favorite characters. He's been such a badass this whole time, fucking showing up, slapping people left and right. He's not one to mince words.
Yeah. Small word, more action.
Meanwhile, on the moon, of course, the forces of Kycelia are coming together, and wouldn't you know it, our favorite boy Mikuve shows up.
Oh my
God! I mean, look, he looks. All right, fair. Look, he looks perfectly normal from a distance.
Phil.
He looks like he plays bass.
Yeah, I'll give him that.
And of course, standing left of him on screen, looks like that guy is the vocalist. Like he sings in their band.
No, he does have the
He's kind of got a little bit of a almost Freddie Mercury look to him.
kind. The hair's a bit too crazy, but yeah.
Well, he's anime Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
And so Makuve's forces depart to go and provide aid to Solomon. So this battle isn't lost yet. They'll be getting some reinforcements, even though they're in the middle of this battle now. The Federation forces have largely been wiping the floor with them.
Yeah,
so it's about time to see. Yep, there's still a chance. There's still the opportunity for victory here. We then cut to some internal shots of the base where, honestly, what looks like the halls in the Tanteen 4 from Star Wars.
The cantina.
Yeah, from the opening scene where like the rebels are being chased by Vader's ship.
I can see that.
Like it looks like Darth Vader's about to pop out right behind those Zaku's and just like go force choke the captain.
Yeah, I can see it. Ambush.
So the fighting's continuing on, and you get to see that you're starting to see more little hints of the damage that's been going on, and because you get to see that Kai himself has now thrown a bandage on to presumably stop a leak from his suit, or that could be on his. I'd say that looks like he covered up a break in his mask, his hood. Helmet. That thing. We saw Hayato fix one up last week, and now here's Kai doing the same thing.
He's really grown.
Yeah, he's still that smarmy asshole, but you like him but more now. He's grown, and I really feel like we're at a point now where the show's really getting into a really good stride. I mean, 35, 36 episodes in, you would certainly hope that it would be off in a great place, but hey, here we are. But don't worry, guys. These nameless grunts are going to save the day. Why? As it turns out, the Zeon forces are going to open the door up and go blasting. Right. So we get a lot more destruction from the battle. Oh god, if you want to enjoy watching some Zaku's and mobile suits or Federation suits getting destroyed, this is, I think, one of the better episodes for that. I mean, it's a battle.
Yeah,
but
the destruction.
We then get to finally see in action. Hinted at last week. The Big Zam.
Yeah. That thing is terrifying. I mean, it's ridiculous design for God. It should not be mass production.
And I was talking a little bit about this last week. So, in a lot of the later subsequent games that where they kind of touch on stuff on elements from the original series, they always wind up tying to Dozel this idea that he wanted to go and mass produce the Big Zam, which was never the case. That was not ever something he really wanted to do.
I can see why you would want to do that. I did. I mean, a weapon like that. It's just destructive.
Oh, this is so weird. I don't know what's going on with that because I hear you fine.
Oh, come on. Another. What's this?
I mean,
jump.
oh. But of course, inside of the Big Zam is our good boy, Dozel Zabi. A big old muscle man. A mountain of a man who bench lifts Zaku's for weights. Just for fun. What do you think, Fenrir, about the manliest man of all, Dozel Zabi?
Okay, I'm ready. Okay. Can you still hear echoes?
Let's see what Jay says in a moment.
Okay, I enjoy the guy. He looks like that big muscle. Actually, just like Mr. Tango.
I mean, and he's got such a great design to him. I mean, he's this big, like, hulking man who stands head over shoulders of everyone else. And, I mean, his shoulders have spikes on them. Face scarred up. I don't know what to do about that, because you guys are saying there's a lot of echo. Oh, hey, whoa. Sounded like you...
This go.
Sounded like you stepped up there for a second. It sounded okay for a moment. So we get to see oh wow, another bot. We get to see another bot, but that's all right because the Big Zam is going to take care of them, and it has a massive fucking laser cannon on its front. Ouch. And it is going to just destroy anyone in its way. In fact, you get to see that like one
definition of OP.
Yeah. Hey, that actually sounded pretty good there to me. But we'll just have to, I guess, keep pushing on for the meantime. And hopefully you can be heard enough. Like, so the Big Zam fires its big laser, and you just watch, like, multiple mobile suits melting away from, like, a single blast from it. And it's not like the Gundam where it just kind of gets off a lucky shot and it can maybe shoot through two. No, it is like it fires a laser roughly the size of a battleship. Fenrir, is this your favorite mobile suit yet?
Let's see. The legs are just make the design ridiculous as hell. But I admit it is good. I mean, they needed a sacrifice of a dude and almost kamikaze style attack. You see destroying it. Yeah, this is around the top three.
I happen to agree. So, Dozel decides to make the big... Actually, that is a good point there. They do kind of look like frog legs. Ribbit. So Dozel opts to take all the forces they have available and fly them straight through to... We're going to push them all through. and to not hold off. Like, no, we just keep going. We're gonna punch through these forces and get everyone out. It's best to evacuate Solomon. So at this point, Solomon is lost, and all Dozel's gonna do is stay behind to ensure that his men can escape.
And this shows he's a good man.
Mm-hmm.
A good general to his men. Putting them above his own safety.
I really want you to go check out after you finish watching through this show, to go sit down and watch Gundam: The Origin. I personally, the way I recommend it to people is to watch through the original series or the movies maybe, and then go watch The Origin, because that effectively sets up the events of the show. And while The Origin is a fine six-part series, I feel like you really need to have the context and understanding of the main series first to understand it better, even though it's a prequel.
All right.
It's weird, but I feel like it's better to introduce people that way, so when you do see certain people, you understand, oh, it's important that they're showing me Mikuve. It's important that I'm seeing Garma. But speaking of Mikuve, Mikuve is, of course, getting together with his fleet to fly off is flying to go lend support, and contemplates leaving the escape pod that had Dozel's wife and child, to leave them to float in space.
I just realized one thing. The escape pod is filled with women and children.
Yes.
The old code of war. Free the women and children, and the men say to die.
Yep. Oh, also, yeah, he's got a good point. Caecilia is hot in Origin.
Okay.
That's so unfortunate that, like, Jace is saying he can't understand you. So, trying to hurry along a little bit. Oh, we'll try to finish this up and... Man.
Okay,
So,
I'm seriously trying to think. Why is my audio not working? Because either Jace is making fun of me or something is wrong on my side.
I don't get it either, but I can hear you fine. I'll check the replay afterwards and see if I can go from there.
All right.
So Mikuve, being the reptile man in a human suit, is contemplating this, like, what does the women and children mean? Well, sir, it means that we're going to be saving them. We will not be harming them. Oh, wait. Let me try. I just realized. I think I know what it is. Okay. Let's see if that did it, because I think I might have left like an echo or screen share or.
Hello.
I hope I didn't. We didn't just go the last like 30-40 minutes with like
echo. One,
terrible
2, 3,
echo.
3. 1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah, I think it. No, it's. Oh Oh no. Screw it. Okay, now it works. Yeah, so it sounds like it was my mess up.
Okay then. Well, can you hear me?
Yes, it sounds like there's no echo now. So, thanks, Jace. Yeah, no, it turns out I was the one who made the boo boo because I showed Fenrir a video before this, and I just kept the same. I kept the same screen share up with audio enabled.
Okay, so it wasn't my fault.
No, that was me.
All right.
So they contemplate. So Makuve and his lieutenant are busy talking to themselves about whether or not they should reach out and actually try to save Dozel's wife and Minerva, which ultimately it finally wins out that yeah, we need to actually be human and save women and children.
Oh, he doesn't do human.
Yeah, Makuve like is into like lizard people or something. He's barely human.
The face like that, not surprising.
So the remaining forces of Solomon are finally launched out into space, with going full blast, fire, 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 keep punching through, don't slow down. We are abandoning the Solomon base. But the Federation is actually here for a change. And they decide, well, you know, that big freaking laser we had before, we somehow lost about a third of it. Why don't we just do that again? That seemed to work pretty good last time. Let's fire it at the remaining forces. See how much of them we can eliminate. I think I hear a helicopter. Oh no. They're coming for me.
Oh, damn it. It was only a matter of time. Good luck.
Fenrir, no! Ah! Oh. So, in the previous episode, the Federation forces had fired the big mirror laser, and that devastated it quite a bit to the point where the Federation forces were able to start just rushing in. So their fortress has been sieged, and with so much of their forces being destroyed, the best bet was to abandon this base and regroup with the strengthened forces of Kaisilia Zabi. And presumably Kaisilia would not be able to arrive in time for it to be able to lend any noticeable aid. So Sliger gets the bright idea. So Sliger is flying out into battle, and being the smug son of a gun he is,
He jokes while doing it.
yeah. They're pushing through, and he's being the ham he is. And then we cut back to the white base, to Amro. Amro inside of Solomon, where he's coming across a bunch of scrap that you don't realize it at first, but those are melted mobile suits that met with the Big Zam, that met with the new...
destroyed.
Yeah, like, holy cow, look at that thing. It is a paperweight, at best.
Serves to show how dangerous this is. It's nothing like they've dealt before.
Howdy. Frog Man.
Hey.
And Amuro realizing that, oh right, I'm the protagonist. I should probably go see what the new weapon is about.
Yeah, because there's no way in hell that's gonna kill me.
Yeah, I was like, I've got plot armor. I'm totally fine. Unlike that ball.
Uh,
And then you get to see like the little hint of like the little tiny skinny legs on this thing that it eliminates like another GM that was just ahead of Amuro, who gets melted into scrap.
yeah. So this whole episode just serves to show how much powerful is Amuro's plot armor.
Though you got to remember, though, at the same time, the Federation force or the Xeon forces have been deploying more impressive armor left and weapon and armor left and right to this point where the like whatever lunar titanium that the Gundam was made with isn't invulnerable. How many times has he lost limbs or his shield's been cut through? Like he goes through those now like ammo. And now at this point you have a big massive like legless mobile suit with a mobile armor that you quickly realize can blast through anything. Yeah, that's not going to go very well for you. That plot armor is only so thick.
Yeah. God, when will they have the balls to break it?
Man, that's a really freaking good question. But I mean, there's only about another 8 episodes, so I'm sure we'll be able to find something. So, Dozel gets the idea to go and fly straight forward to aid his troops and use the impressive might of the Big Zam. This thing fires lasers out the top, the bottom. It is like the dreidel of death. Because there's like no direction you can come. There's like practically no direction you can come at this thing from and come out unscathed. It's like out at the bottom, it has an engine that blasts harder than its little stubby feet.
Yeah.
So Mirai decides to finally make it back.
go
She's
back.
had her moment to go and get herself kind of recomposed.
Away
and
from
now
her
she-
womanly frustrations.
Well, I was gonna say now she too has a similar reason to see through this fight to win.
Yeah, that's a logical way.
I mean, both her and Sliger now have that similar cause and reason to fight. They want to make it through and see each other again. And there's no more doubts for either one. So we've found out that virtually nothing can hit the Big Zam. Laser blaster just the lasers and the beams are all just bouncing off of the mobile armor of the Big Zam like it's nothing. And Slager figures, well, if we just redock up, maybe we can use the improved speed of the G fighter and the Gundam to get in close enough for the attack, which is some pretty good battle strategy considering that we only ever see them deploy one way, whereas in this case we're actually putting the Gundam back inside of something to go to fight. Yes, the big clam! And so Dozozabi, being the big softy of the Zeon he he tells his men to transfer the controls over to him. That while this thing was effectively made to be piloted with 3 people, he's gonna run it solo. There's no sense in them dying for when he can be the one to do it all alone.
Yeah, honorable.
And it makes him one of my favorite people out of this. So they send up the flare, telling everyone to pull out, retreat, and he'll be the one to hold off all the forces by himself. And so you get couple of the Zaku's flying by with a bunch of just kind of the Xeon soldiers all hanging on in tow. You know, it's one of those things you don't see much of. And oh god, just don't let go. Whatever you do, you're lost if you do.
Yeah, this is just wow.
Realize that is literally their lifeline. And all it takes is one
just slips, the others can die. This is just
not only that. If anyone just hits that Zaku, all 5, 6, 7 of those guys are dead.
Yeah, it's all standing through rope and hope.
But Slager comments like, "Oh, maybe I'm just turning into a big softie because he had the opportunity and he didn't even take the shot," which it gives a little something, I feel like, to that idea of the sort of battlefield civility. He could have fired and taken out helpless men, but he didn't. And I feel like that's commendable.
It is.
However, there's still the problem with the Big Zam, which, as we discover, literally everything bounces off of it.
Every energy-based attack.
Mm-hmm. Like, they have to resort to missiles at this point, and I don't know if anyone has any left. They start firing, and everything is getting blasted in its wake. Like, when I said it fires lasers the size of a battleship, I was not exaggerating. It fires and ships disappear.
Like they were never even there. This is what shows the terrifying power of the Zam. I mean, again, this should not be mass-produced. It is too dangerous.
I mean, Dozel does comment about how, once it is mass-produced, it would end the Federation in no time. But it was really just more of a kind of a passing remark of a experimental suit. This was not some big, aspiration of his. But, I mean, that said, the little side... It has those little side... side guns that go all the way around it. And, holy crap, this thing is, death in any direction. I call it the deadly dreidel, and it proves that.
Yeah.
Nothing is safe. Battleships are getting destroyed 4 or 5 at a time from this thing.
It kind of makes... This is like the A-bomb to the Gundams.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that was arguably the colony drop. This is just this is the introduction of a brand new weapon into war. The first time the tanks rolled out.
Yeah.
But the Federation boys aren't just giving up yet. This Big Zam still has to be fought, and just because they've effectively defeated Solomon doesn't mean they can stop. So they dock the G fighter with the Gundam, and they get the idea to go getting close. Because hey, the Gundam needs apparently more plot armor. We'll put a ship around it.
Yeah.
And they started just blasting through a bunch of Zaku's on the way like they're nothing. Which, at this point, the Zaku is just cannon fodder.
Yeah, they're like the stormtroopers.
Exactly.
The only one that actually makes any damage is the one driven by the Red Comet, or just someone with the secret weapon.
Yeah, I mean, apparently the secret is just you just paint a Zaku a slightly different color, and it has a more remarkable kill count.
Yeah.
But speaking of remarkable kill counts, so they decide to fly up underneath the Big Zam, figuring that would be the safest approach. And the Big Zam, however, is not undefended there. In fact, its freaking toes are missiles. Fenrir, were you expecting toe missiles?
I kind of was. I mean, this is an anime. I kind of was hoping for them to go a little cliche-ish.
Well, I mean, you gotta remember, this was one of those series that sets the standards. So a lot of other series probably looked to Gundam for inspiration. Where, I mean, the Shark clone has become a thing because of this. Where you put your protagonist in a red vehicle that seems faster than the rest and is piloted by a helmeted rival or villain. So they managed to get in close, but not without incident. As the G fighter and the Gundam getting close, unfortunately the ship is literally captured and grabbed by the feet of the Big Zam, and those toes grip onto the cockpit. But this, however, leaves it wide open, and so the Gundam is able to break through and fire off a couple shots up to disable it. But not before it's too late. And Slager is unfortunately lost in battle. The cockpit is burst open, and he is knocked free. So, moral of the story, kids, is to wear your seatbelt.
Yeah.
And
that space helmets are shit, and they actually don't do anything. They're just decorative.
I mean, it probably wasn't. It was probably just really there to help, like a NASCAR's helmet is, or a football player's helmet is there for just protection. Really, just there to help protect you from concussions. While the suit isn't intended for actual trips into space. Oh, yeah, I was looking at that. Like, holy crap, like, his arm is, like, completely foobarred. Like, apparently tossing him into the cold vacuum of space just, like, fucked his arm up. I mean, holy crap, look at that. It's like a it's like a Mr. Fantastic arm or something. So, unfortunately, that was apparently his slapping hand.
That's enough.
He won't be slapping anyone anymore.
Nope.
Oh wait, what's that? They are space worthy. They exit the ships all the time. There's flight suits. So I don't know. Maybe what happened was with the rapid decompression of his cockpit and all the scrap, the glass flying everywhere. He might have gotten some lacerations on that. On that, but also he just got launched into space without any sort of tether. He's lost in space.
Yeah.
But yeah, he got crushed in there. I mean, hell, look at his arm. He got squeezed like Play-Doh. So Amuro, now having his opportunity, pulls out his gun, his beam rifle, blasts up right up into the engines, or into one of the lasers of it, and causes things to start exploding.
There was this
And
weird
then we-
scene with this kind of like figure in the back. What was that?
Oh, we'll get to that in a second. But before that, we get is one of my other favorite shots in this episode is just this slow like rise of him with like the big massive impressive figure, a big massive oppressive figure of the big Zam before him that he's gonna come swing down on and stab into. Ensign Big Phaser brings his enormous weapon to bear. And, how satisfying is that? I mean, this is a chance where Amuro gets to like avenge someone who's someone who fought beside him in battle, like the minute of, and it's not just like him pushing them away to spiral out like with Ryu. No, this thing killed my ally. It's time to put him down.
Yeah. Kill it.
So the big Zam begins to explode around him, and as Amuro continues to stab out, destroy it, Dozel is commenting about how could this be? Just one single mobile suit has done such destruction. I've heard Char bitch about this thing for so long. Is this the mobile suit that has been giving us so much trouble? How could this be? And oh man, Dozel doesn't like cry and scream like, "No, save me!" No. This is like, I am not gonna go out like a little bitch. So
He grabs a gun and goes straight to shooting.
Yeah, he comes running out of the exploding big Zam, machine gun in hand, and starts just blasting you against his foe. Like, it's like what are the odds of him being able to actually get a kill shot off are slim, but he's gonna go for it. He is a soldier. He will go down fighting.
He'll go down fighting like a true badass.
Yep. And he starts opening up fire, and yeah, like you were kind of hinting at before, this like specter-like image behind him begins to kind of emerge out of it, which quickly fades away. But it always seemed to me like, and I think they kind of explain this a little bit in some other stuff. This is sort of that like the specter of war, the bitter hatred of the enemy. At least that's what I've always interpreted it as.
I thought it was kind of like a warning of what is to come.
Or, I mean, apparently some people take it as like sort of that. Oh wait, doesn't he get that little like kind of weird tinge sound, that bring, where like he's like getting that sort of psychic like sense about him?
Yeah,
Because I think this is another kind of hinting of that. This is the fighting spirit of an enemy before him, who's putting
mm,
everything he has into his last moments.
that makes sense.
I call it the new type. You've got mail. And rather than stay here, and uselessly fight, Amuro escapes the exploding mobile armor. So the Big Zam is no more, and on board Makuve's ship, they're left to comment about how this is lost, and it's time to head to Granada
Retreat.
to recoup. We It's like, yes, we of course protected the child. It's all that's left of the forces. The tasty child. Mukove eats babies.
Okay. you're just trying. You're trying to play
Makuve
on the
eats
joke,
babies.
aren't you?
Tell me, are you... Can I hold the child?
No. That's getting too freaky. Let's go back to the story.
I love babies with fava beans. Yes, he has a very skeletal face. Very like... Uh,
Like he's completely sick.
but I think, now we've really hit that away too much. And so, the new widow is left to console her child. However, not all... There aren't smiles and happiness to go all around, because this is a battle where there's much sadness on both sides. Though the fighting is done, there's been much lost. Because Amuro now has to go and meet with... Not... Oh, I had a brain fart. Meets with Mirai uh,
To explain that
to
he's dead.
tell her the news, to console her, and she's completely distraught. Like, no, tell me he made it out. Only for her to
He
be
did.
lost in the moment. And you get to see that, Frau is still around. Unfortunately, this isn't a case like with Ryu, where everyone is sort of equally hurt by it, or that was like something of one of the first losses this crew had suffered. This is someone who was assigned to them later on, who wasn't like part of the main group, but still had an impactful experience with them. And so Mirai goes to wipe her tears and have a long think. Hayato recovers, having survived this, and the orphans
Yeah.
even survived.
Yeah, with no idea of what exactly happened and who was lost and what exactly the mood is. Seriously, I really dislike these kids because they kill the mood.
Yeah. Bright the rebound dog. Yeah, that's kind of not too far off. I mean, it always seemed like Bright and Mirai always kind of like gonna be the ones that were gonna get together ultimately. Like they were like the mom and dad of the ship. And then, through this we do end with at least Frau there to console Amuro. And then our last shot is the Federation now all parked around their new base of Solomon, which gives them a great forward base to put the resources in space on. So we now have a few episodes left.
And next episode, Amuro's finally gonna get rid of the weirdo.
So in the end, ultimately, this was another one of the major wins to really benefit the Federation.
Yeah, the victory over Base Solomon.
With a powerful general now defeated, the Federation is on the upswing with now win after win.
Yeah.
Oh, so I'm actually not sure what happens with Frau after this. I would have to look that up.
I think she became a teacher, director of an orphanage. Seems like something she'd do.
I could see that. Like I said, I'll have to look that up. So Fenrir, how did you like the episode?
It was good. The animation was good. The art was fluid. But I'm gonna give it a 6.5 because they killed Slagger. Christ sakes, it's good that you kill off your characters, but not the most loved ones. Just go to ones that are loved, but not that much. Slagger in just a short time became loved.
You want to show you basically want like a series where the main characters are going to survive no matter what.
No. I want one where they do it smart.
I think it's important with episodes like this, to put out and suggest that anyone could die at any point. And that was kind of one of the original ideas behind the series, was that
everyone was gonna die, and then they'll all be replaced. Yeah, I remember.
Obviously, that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I think this episode is one of those rare 10s. This is one I really like. And I have been very hesitant to give out a 10. But I think that this episode is one of the best ones so far.
Yeah.
I think that, like I was saying at the start, that moment with Mirai and Slager is one of the strongest bits of the show. Just having that moment where you don't need a whole lot of words. They don't have to spill everything out, but there's a lot that's left to be unsaid, and especially after the last couple of episodes, I think it's well worth the time we've seen. Oh. Huh. From Mary Hayano. Wasn't expecting that.
Hayato.
So, I mean, putting aside the fact that you didn't like the fact that Slugger died, I mean,
Yeah,
what
it's a
did
solid episode.
but so you're gonna bump it up in all actuality? Is that a 10? Come on, I think it's a 10.
Mm.
Come on.
Yeah, it's a 10.
Yes.
10.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it. You heard it here first. It's a 10. And I need like a special effect or a.
Special effects were good, and I enjoyed how they simply kept the risk going and going.
We're gonna give it 10 slaps out of 10. All right, we'll only do 2. Wait, no. That's what it is. That's way. We gave it a 10. It got 5 fingers, 2 slaps. It got 2 slaps up. No?
Yes.
All right. 2 slaps up. You heard it here first, folks.
Okay, let's finish. Let's put this up. Let's roll this up fast.
All right. So, anyway, just to kind of throw it out to anyone in the chat there, what do you guys think? Is this a 10? Am I right? Does this get 2 slaps? I sure think it does. Otherwise, Fenrir, we're gonna have to find some more stuff to put in the Gundam. That's right. You're gonna have to put some like newspaper clippings in the Gundam for me. I'll make the Gundam faster. Oh, Tim says it's a 9.
To each their own.
Oh, wait. What's that? 10. Add Caecilia slap. Okay. But also, you know, we didn't get this episode. We didn't get Char. Char didn't show up in this episode either.
Yeah. I thought this would be his kind of scenario. Again, seriously, when is the goddamn fight gonna start?
Oh, what you want that next proper rematch between the two?
Yes.
Oh, it's coming. Trust me, it's coming. You're gonna get to see them fight again. You gotta wait for it though. This is one of those things where you gotta kind of let it savor. We don't
like that whole
too much.
It's like that whole Jar Jar Martin thing where you keep saying the dragons are coming over and over again in South Park. In reality, they're not even close.
Okay, so Tim did kind of follow up on this. He said the data animation and questionable dubbing always drops a bit for me. Fair enough. Mind you, we're talking about late 70s animation, especially with them being on such a deadline. But it's kind of for that reason why I think this episode stands out more. It's that given the time and the effort they were and the pressure they were under at the time, the fact that this episode works as well as it does, and where some of the shortcuts they've had to do, where they would be in the cities, not even like coloring in the people walking around. The fact was they were like saving all that time and effort in those episodes so we could get this one to look as good as it was. Works, I think. But that's my opinion. All right, so Fenrir, I guess we should probably wrap up. Since it's getting I know it's getting late for you. Do you have anything coming up this week?
No, I'm good. I am just waiting for the legendary fight.
I mean, I personally thought it was going to be like a slap off between Slager and Bright for the hand of Mirai, but we're not getting that apparently. It's a slap off, everyone. Are you gonna hop by Nick's Friday?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep, we're Friday we'll be doing some comic shop talk over on Nick Weiser's channel, who is of course in the description, and I should be there. And Saturday we'll have the T-shirt historians for the Week in Geek. But
Alrighty.
all right, let's get out of here, guys.
Yeah, peace to you all. Stay fresh. Just keep away from the drugs.
All right.
And
Good night, everyone.
Peace.